morning. How are you doing today? It is Friday. It is Feel Good Friday, July 21st, 2023. Holy moly. I'm so excited this morning. I forgot what time it was. I don't even know what words I'm using. Words are hard. Words are really hard. It is July 21st, 2023. It is Friday. Feel Good Friday. I hope you're feeling great. You are listening to the Home Gym Hustle Hero podcast, where I come to you every other day, every other day, somewhere around in there. I try to come to you at least 3 times a week and give you a little information, motivation, and inspiration to help push you forward, to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Small little bite-sized chunks of podcast fun that you can maybe hopefully learn a little something from. I hope you enjoy it. Give me a comment, send me a message, let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. If you've got any questions or topics you want answered, be sure to send them to me. If you need a little personal help, if you need a little one-on-one help, motivation, inspiration, or information, be sure to go to homegymhustleheroes.com/join. Join my group and my challenge group, and we will work together. I'm wanting to talk to you today about a really cool idea that's, kind of fundamental when it comes to any kind of improvement. You'll probably know me. If you know me, I also do a podcast called the Kanawha Valley Hustlers. I like hustling, so, I've got the Home Gym Hustle Heroes, and I've got the Kanawha Valley Hustlers podcast. We'll be doing a little later on today. And when it comes to hustling, when it comes to building a business, when it comes to improving marketing, when it comes to all that kind of stuff, any kind of change, any kind of development, entrepreneurship, anything like that, becoming a better version of you, you're going to need to have a growth mindset. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So we've been talking all week long about habits, about healthy habits, modeling habits for your kids, using small steps, moving forward in small ways, making little itty-bitty changes step by step rather than having big, giant, audacious goals that are sometime in the future but are, kind of ephemeral. You can't really grip them. You can't really grip losing 50 pounds in a year. How do you do that? What is that? But what you can do is, get rid of all of the processed food in your house. What you can do is skip breakfast, do an intermittent fasting kind of approach. So you get a system. And that system is made up of habits. You do them day in and day out. You do a workout rather than trying to, say I'm going to improve my deadlift by, 100 pounds in a year or whatever. Instead, just lift every single day. Make that part of your habit. And it's in that system. That system has to have a basis in the growth mindset. So those habits have to be built out of a growth mindset. And what do we mean by a growth mindset? The growth mindset is basically acting as if what you're trying to accomplish has already been accomplished. It's going outside of where you're comfortable. It's not being where you are right now. It's embracing the future. You've already lost 50 pounds. What does somebody who's lost 50 pounds from today, what do they do today? What are they doing today? How are they acting today? That's the way you want to look at it. So you're going to embrace those habits for your day-to-day activities. And then mentally, you're going to have that growth mindset where you're looking to the future. You've already done it, okay? This is kind of a visualization technique, and it's really important to understand how powerful that it really is, because it's in that belief. If you believe, then you will act. If you act, then you will accomplish your goals. So it's literally your belief literally changes reality. If you don't believe, you will not act and you will not achieve your goals. Now, this is the big disconnect that people have when it comes to goals. A lot of people like to set goals, but they don't set the intermediary steps. So as I talk about goals when it comes to a growth mindset, as I talk about goals, the thing that you have to realize is you have to step back and you have to plug in that day-to-day activity. You have to make it into a habit. You have to develop the habits. The habits have to come, okay? So goals by themselves are not very powerful at all. And I know that you're going to say, well, what are you talking about? Everybody talks about goals. Well, I'll be honest with you. When you look at what most, executive coaches, therapists, trainers, things like that, when they talk about goals, what they're really doing is talking about a growth mindset. And what that is looking into the future and assuming that these things have already happened. So now you're acting as if. So you're acting now in the way that somebody that had already accomplished this would act. And those are the day-to-day things. Part of that is embracing challenges, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. If you're comfortable in what you're doing, if you're comfortable, then you're not changing. Change happens outside of the comfort zone. There's a reason that you always hear it, whether it's a pastor at your church or whether it's a fitness trainer. It doesn't matter who it is, but you'll notice, you'll hear this phrase, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to get out of your comfort zone. They say that all the time, right? You've heard that a million times, right? It's because it's outside of your comfort area that change happens. So you have to embrace the challenges. You have to embrace not being comfortable, okay? That's how you know you're in growth. That's part of the growth mindset, okay? What you're doing now is how you got to where you are. If you want to be somewhere else, then you've got to do something different. And that's part of that growth mindset. That's part of developing that, looking into the future and then acting today as your future self would act if the goals were achieved. And it's important to model that for your kids. Your kids need to see that. And I talk about this quite a bit, and I really do mean this, and I think it's really important to understand. Your kids need to see you struggle. Your kids need to understand struggle. To a certain degree, you're going to be Superman or Superwoman. There's no doubt about that. But your kids struggle day in and day out as they're learning new things, as they're, working in school, as they're, whatever it might be, they're learning new skills. They're in Boy Scouts. They're playing basketball. They're playing baseball. They're learning these new skills. They're learning how to interact with people. They're learning how to make friends. They see all this stuff and they struggle. It doesn't come naturally to them. But then they see you as some kind of superhero that's unstoppable. And they just think that there's something magical about you that they don't have. Let them see you struggle. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to let your kids see not only are you the kind of person that can struggle, that has to struggle, but you're the kind of person that can overcome. And then model that for them, and they'll learn from it. And they'll learn what you learn, and that's the best type of teaching. If you ever talk to anybody that teaches regularly, what you'll see quite a bit is the best way to learn something is to teach it to somebody else. Now, why is that? It's because there's a lot of things that you do that you're not consciously aware of how you do them. But then when you start getting those questions, when you have to start explaining or showing, and then you start thinking like, why do I do it that way? Why is this the way? What if I tried it different? What if and then your student or the person that you're talking to might say something along the lines of, well, why don't we try it this way? That gives you the opportunity. Same thing with your kids. Your kids are going to ask you those types of questions, and that gives you that opportunity. So to summarize this whole habit versus growth mindset, all this kind of stuff, to kind of summarize everything, to put it all in a nice, neat little bow for you today, I just want to encourage you that there's when it comes to any goal, whether you're starting a business, you're building your fortune, you're building your hustle, your side hustle, or you're building your body, no matter what it is, it takes two steps. One, you have to have an ideal. That's your goal. That's your growth. That's who you're going to become. And you have to believe it. And you have to know that you're going to do that. But you also have to know that it's impossible, because that's an ideal. If you're able to accomplish everything that you set out to do, then your ideal is not big enough. You need to fail. You have to fail. Okay? That's part of that ideal. That's part of that goal. So moving forward, that's the growth mindset. But then step two, you have to make a step towards that goal every single day. And when I say goal, again, I'm talking about an ideal, not really a goal. I like to use the word ideal. When you have to move a step towards that ideal every single day. You're not going to get there. You're never going to get there. But embracing the journey and embracing the growth is going to get you farther along than you are now, because what you're doing now is how you got to where you are. So if you want to change, then you have to do something different. I hope that you found that helpful today. If you have any questions, be sure to like, subscribe, share, send me a comment. Let me know what you think. Love having you guys on today. Hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye for now.